Hi everyone, this is Abhishek and welcome back to January Analytics. Today I bring you the all new Power BI dashboard which I named as the Asset Portfolio. This Asset Portfolio dashboard is built upon the daily index data captured from the finance.yahoo.com. I'll be sharing the link in the description. Now the intent of this dashboard is to visualize the price of top indexes which you are seeing in the watch list such as Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, and to see how their price gets changed over a period of time, let's say in 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, right? And within the selected time frame, I have captured the high price, low price, start price, and the end price in this overview section. So this overview section contains the selected index, the current price on the very last date, and its variation with respect to the starting date based on the selected period. For example, if the selected period is 1 month, then the variation is calculated between the price on the very last date, which is 26th of June, and the price on 1 month prior date, is 26th of May. Simple, right? Then there is a line chart. On hovering, we can see the beautiful tooltip which is showing the various attributes along with the variation with respect to the previous day. How cool is that? So now let's dig into the Power BI application to build this super cool, super awesome asset portfolio dashboard. So this is our blank canvas in the Power BI desktop. To start with, let's see some of the few settings that need to be done. So the version that I'm using here is May 2024. So let's do some of the settings first. Go to options, go to data load. Now uncheck this auto detect new relationship and uncheck this auto date and time. Then regional settings, set it to English United States. Rest all things will remain as it is. Just press this OK. Now the next thing is to load our data, right? So as I said that I have used the data from finance.yahoo.com, and you see here. So this is the link finance.yahoo.com. I'll be sharing this in the description box, and from here you can just select any of the index, for example Google, right? If you select Google from here and go to the historical data, then you will see the historical data. You just select the last 1 year thing and just download it. Similarly, download for the Bitcoin, the Nvidia, or Apple, or Amazon, or Tesla, whichever whichever index you want to do the analysis for, right? So once all these indexes have been saved in one folder, then we will directly import the folder into the Power BI. So let's see, go to get data and select folder from here, and let's give a folder path. So my path will be this. I have saved all these files in the asset underscore Yahoo folder. Press OK. Now these are the file names which are the CSV files, right? Let's transform them. So now we'll go to content and press this button, and this will show us the layout of the CSV. So we do have a date, we do have the open price, high price, low price, close price, adjacent close, and volume. The delimiter is also shown here, that is used in the CSVs. So press OK, and all the data we do have here now expanded, right? We can see Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin, Google, Nvidia, and Tesla. Now let's remove this .csv from here, right? So we will just go to the transform tab and split this by delimiter. So our delimiter is comma here. Press OK. Now we do have Apple, Amazon, BTC, USD. So if you see, we do have a BTC USD, right? So let's keep it as it is for a while. Just remove this. Move. Now we have a date field, we have open price, everything, and this is our name. Now let's build one conditional column, right? So the conditional column will named as abbreviation, which is ABBR. So if the name column equals to BTC-USD, the output should be BTC. If it's the name column equals AAPL, it will be same APL. If the name column equals to AMZN, okay, we do have the abbreviation here. Name, we have the abbreviation. Now just let's do one small thing. Uh, Change this into fixed decimal place, because we know these are the currencies or these are the prices. Okay? And this is the volume. Let's keep it in the whole number. That's it. Now we do have to add one more table. So that table will be carrying the image or the symbol of the index, right? So the image or the symbol I actually captured from the Wikipedia. So that table looks like somewhat looks like this. I'll show you, right? So this table is having the name of the index, the abbreviation, the full name, the description, right? And these are the images which I captured from Wikipedia, right? So I'll add this table as well. So just go to the new source, the XLS file, right? So let's go to Excel workbook. This is asset key table. Here it is. Press OK. This is simple and straightforward table. Nothing to do with this as of now. Now just let's close and apply. So now if I go to the model view, you can see the asset key table, which is a kind of dimension table, and we do have a fact table, which is the assets Yahoo table, right? So let's do a join or a relationship between the assets key table and the assets Yahoo table using the abbreviation, right? So because this particular column is common in both, right? So we will use this, and relation is one to many, single, directional, and make this relationship active. So our relationship is built. Now let's go back to the report view. Now let's start to build the first visual, which is the dynamic slicer. So the dynamic slicer, I will be using this new slicer from here, and in this I'll just go to this asset key table and drag the abbreviation from here. So if you see here, we can see some blank fields as well. Uh, Nothing to worry. Just expand this and remove this blank from here, right? So I'll be getting this thing. Now it's just a matter of some settings that we have to do. To make this force selection, like one aberration has to be selected all the time. Then the shape will be the rectangular, rounded rectangle. The layout will be a grid. Maximum rows, I need 6 rows, since we do have the 6 indexes and 1 column, right? So first come first, this is done. This 5. Now the next thing is, just go to this call out values. We have to add labels here, right? So in the label section, we have to add our one DAX calculated measure. So what's that DAX calculated measure is? So that is, let's create a new measure from here, and I'll give that a name as description abbreviation, that will be equal to selected value of asset key table full name and concatenate that with selected value description, right? So I actually concatenated the full name and the description of the selected index, right? So hit OK and just drag it here. Now see, we have this full name and the description, right? It's getting shaped. The next thing is, if we go down and select the image, right? So the image we do have in the asset key table, and the image is this. Now we have to do some settings with that. So image is dragged here, make this fit or normal, no need to worry. The position will be left. Reduce the size to this, or let's reduce it to 10. Space between the image is right, and remove this up, ignore padding, make this off. Now it's getting shaped, right? Perfect. Now the next thing is, let's remove these borders. So how to remove these borders? Make it off. Now the borders are off. And this fill, let's keep it as it is for a while. So this is our slicer, dynamic slicer. Now the next portion is, we have to build the timelines or the selected period, which is 1 month, 1 week, 6 month, or 1 year, right? So how to do that? So to do that, we have to uh, make one period table, right? So that period table will have 2 columns. One is the order and the other is the period. So how to make that period table? You just go to this modeling tab, go to new table, or there is one more way. Just go to this home tab and go to this enter data. Now let's give the name it as a period table. The column one will be our order, so one, order one, and it will be 1 week, right? Order two will be 1 month, order three will be 6 month, order four will be 1 year, right? So this ordering is for sorting this period column. uh, give it a name as order, and column 2 give it a name as period. Very simple. Load. Now we can see we have a period table here. Let's create a measure table also, right? So in that measure table we will just drag all these measures into that one table. Go to this enter data, name it as measure table, and just load it as it is. Now go select this and use as a measure table. Now we have our measure here in this measure table. This now these measures, all the measure that we will use here in this report will be stored in this measure table. Now the next thing, this is done. Now let's uh, build one more slicer. In that slicer, we'll just drag this period, right? So just do some kind of layout or rectangle. Force selection on. Layout will be, we need a single row and maximum row shown 1, maximum columns that we need 4, right? 4 columns. This call out values, let's make this semi bold, 9, center aligned, right? Make it little smaller, right? Move this title, move this title, and now the next thing is to build the trend line, and the trend line will basically change based on the selected period, right? So let's create some of the measures. So first will be maximum date, that is nothing but max of asset Yahoo date, that is our maximum date. One thing, just go to this table view go to our main data, just change this to dot date. And if you see this, just change the currency to United States because all these are in dollars. Now we have to create the starting date. So that starting date, I'll call it as a minimum date, right? So minimum date will be if I select one month from here. So the minimum date will be the starting date of the month, right? So let's create one more measure. I will name it as minimum date, and that minimum date will contain a variable max date. Is a maximum date, selected period equal to the selected value of period table period, and variable minimum date equals to switch true if selected period equals to 1 week, then give me max date -7. If selected period equals to 1 month, then give me max date 1 month, right? So we'll use the formula e date. So our starting date will be the max date, and we have to go back -1 month. And similarly, selected period, if I use 6 month, then I'll again use the e date. E date will return the date, uh, indicated number of months before or after the start date, right? So the start date is again max date, and number of months I want to go back 6 months -6. Similarly, selected period equals to 1 year. I'll date, this is max date minus simple. I'll just return minimum date. Take this for date, right? This is my minimum date. We do have the maximum date, we do have the minimum date. Now let's see how this period looks like, right? So what I'll do is I'll just build one KPI card. In this KPI card, I'll show the starting and the ending date of the selected period. Let's create one more measure here. I'll just name it as selected period, and it is selected period concatenate it with a minimum date and concatenate again, give a dash in between and maximum date. So now see how it looks like. Selected period, drag it here. Uh, Switch off the category labels. Uh, Make it well, or make it 9. Now see, we have a selected period here. If I select 1 year, then if I select 1 month, then it's showing the maximum date or the very latest date and the 1 month prior date. 1 week, the very latest date, and 1 month, 1 week prior date. 1 year, 1 year prior dates. Okay, if you see this, now we have to sort this slicer, right? So to sort this, I'll just use, go to this period, sort by order. 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. That's why we build one order column also. This is working fine. Now the next step is to build a trend line. So to build a trend line, just select this trend line thing, it a little bit bigger. We need a asset date. So the dates are here. Just drag this date on the x-axis, then the price, right? So the price will be basically actually the selected price based on the selected period, right? Based in the selected time frame. So how to do that? So I'll just build one more measure. I'll give it as name as selected price. Just give a variable min date equals to minimum date. Variable selected price was to calculate sum of um the close price, sum of the close price, which is our select the actual price, and we will use the filter, and the table will be asset Yahoo table, and the filter expression will be the asset Yahoo date should be greater than equal to min date, and then return selected price. Return selected price. So this is my selected price. I'll just drag this selected price on the y-axis. Now see, we have to limit the x-axis because the x-axis is the date, right? So just go here, go to the x-axis. The minimum will be our minimum date. So now if I go to 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, I get price. Very simple, right? Now if you see, when I select Apple from the filter, the trend line goes away. But this is not the case for rest of the indexes, right? That means there is some issue in this Apple index column. Let's go to the table view to see what's wrong. And in the table view, if you see, oh, here it is. So if you see the abbreviation, it should be AAPL, but it's APPL, right? So we need to change that. So let's unclear the filters. Now go back to the transform table. Now it sh it should be AAPL, right? So let's go to the conditional column. Write it, close and apply. Now if I go back, right? Now if I select, now I get the trend line for Apple for 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, right? So let's make it KD. For that we have to change little bit look and feel also. Let's make a shaded area. The transparency 60%, that's fine. Go to the lines, solid line, the width, use it for, let's make it 2. Linear, that's fine. Color, that's fine again. Shaded area is fine. Everything is now we do have the line chart in place. Now let's remove the header and the y-axis from the line chart. So let's make the header dynamic. So here instead of this text string, let's use the price on the very last date, which is 26th of June. And then below the price, let's have the variation, just like we have in our original dashboard. Now, how to do that? So for that, we have to calculate the price on the max date, which is on the very last date, right? So let's create a measure, name it as current price, and let's create a variable max date equals to maximum date variable. The next variable will be current price, so that will be calculate sum of close price, but we have to filter the price based on the date equals to max date, return current price. Well, this is the current price. Now this current price we cannot simply put here under the title. So because if I use this title and instead of, let's remove this, I use the field value as current price, I cannot use it, right? Cannot use it. So for it means that we have to make it as a text because the title should be text. So for that Let's make it a text. We have to format it, the price that we just calculated. So I'll give it a name, current price text, that will be equal to format current price, and the format should be just like we do in the Excel workbook, right? It should be but we have to keep the dollar also before, hash, hash, comma, hash, point up to 2 decimal places. So this will be our format for the text. See? Now we can use this here. Now if I use current price text, press OK, you see we do have this here selected for Amazon, for Bitcoin, means it is working fine. Let's keep it on Apple as it is, and let's make it, increase the font size and make it bold, make it 25, right? Fine. Now below this we have to add the subtitle also. So the subtitle will actually show the variation, right? So the variation is basically, if I select 1 month, then the variation will be the price on this date minus the price on this date divided by the price on this date, right? So it will actually do the price comparison between this date and this date. Similarly, for whatever the period we select from here, it will do the price comparison between the first date and the last date of the selected period. So for that, we have the current price. We have to get the previous price as well. The current price, we have this. Similarly, in the previous price, we should have here the minimum date, right? The minimum date, this date, because this minimum date is basically the starting date of the selected period. So I'll just select the current price from here. I'll copy this. I'll create a new measure and I'll name it as a previous price. And instead of this max date, I'll use the minimum date, right? And here I'll use the variable, and instead of the current price, I'll use previous price. Very simple, right? Now we have the current price, we have the previous price. Now the next thing is, let's create the price difference, right? So the price variation is nothing but current price minus previous price difference. And similarly, the price variation percentage, percentage divide, numerator will be the price variation and denominator will be current price. Right? Now we have the price variation here. Now the price variation percentage, we have to change it into the text, right? The same way we change this price in the text. So let's do that. Price variation percentage text equals to format price variation percentage, and the format should be 0 point hash hash percentage. This is the price variation percentage text. Similarly, we have to build the price variation text as well. So for that, let's build that as well. Price variation text format price variation, and this will be dollar sign hash hash comma hash hash 0.00, right? Now we have everything is in place, right? Now we have to build the subtitle text, the variation subtitle. So the subtitle text will be also carrying the up arrow and down arrow, right? So the up arrow means the percentage get increased based on the previous date. Down arrow means the percentage get decreased based on the previous date. So for that, I'll use the unique characters for up arrow and down arrow. I'll be pasting the link of the unique characters from where you just can search it over Google and use the unique character code and use it into the Power BI. So I know what is the unique character for up arrow and down arrow, so I'll just use them as it is. So up arrow I'll use unique char as 129053, and down arrow I'll use unique char 129055. These are the unique characters, up arrow and down arrow. Now I'll just create the variation subtitle. Title. So first I'll create the positive, which is positive variation, which is with the up arrow. I'll name it as variable positive. So positive, so it will actually do the concatenation of price variation and the price variation percentage and the up arrow, right? So the price variation text, concatenate it with bracket, again concatenate it with price variation percentage, price variation percentage, and close bracket, and base and up arrow. Similarly, I'll create the same for negative. So here also the price variation text is this, and down arrow, down arrow. Variable result equals to if price variation percentage is greater than 0, then give me positive, else give me negative. This positive, this negative, right? If it is greater than 0, then give me this, else give me negative. Return result. Now in the subtitle section, make it on, remove this field value to subtitle, press OK, and so we get it like this. Now we can see by the indexes is changing, so it's working, right? It's working. Now the next thing is if it is positive, then make it green, else make it red. So that is very simple. So again go to the subtitle and text color, right? Text color. So in the text color, make it a new measure, price variation positive. If price variation percentage is greater than 0, green, else red. So Power BI will automatically get it as the colors. Now change the name is to color, price variation color. Okay. Now here in the subtitle section, go to the field option, price variation color. Okay, see, working fine. If it's going down, then it's red, else it's green. Working fine, perfect, nice. Now let's see 6 month, 1 month, 1 week. What is this 100%? In 1 week and 1 month, it is showing as 100% increase. That's not possible. This is fine that in a month between this date and this date it decreased by 13%, but in Amazon it get increased by 100%. How it is possible? Let's see why it's happening. So we do have let's see what's happening in a week. In a week, on 26th of June and on 19th of June for Apple, let's see what's the price on 19th of June and on 26th of June. So let's go to the table view, assets Yahoo, and select Apple. And on 26th of June, we do have the price as 213.5, which is showing here. That's fine. But what's the price on 19th of June? So on 19th of June, which is 1 week back, oh, there is no 19th here. So after 18th, the price is reflected for 20 of June. That means for 19th of June, it is taking the price as 0, which we do not want. Ideally, the price on 19th, if there is no 19th here, the price on 19th should be the same as the price which was there on 18th, right? Or if 18th is also missing, then the price on 19th should be the one which was there on 17th, right? Okay, so we have to make some changes in our DAX calculations. Like if the row is missing, then it should take the price of the previous row, right? Okay, okay. So let's go back to our report view. That means we have to change our calculation for the previous price, right? So we have calculated our previous price here. Previous price is the starting price, right, of the time frame. This. So we have built a calculation to fetch the price on the minimum date, but 19th is the minimum date. It's not there for Apple, right? So that's why it is taking the price as 0, but we want the price to be there for the prior date. If a row is missing, then it should take the price from the prior row, right? So for that, we have to do some modifications in our calculation. So instead of this min date, what we have to do is we have to calculate the price on the date less than the minimum date, the price less than 19th, and whatever date are there less than 19th, it should take the maximum from them, which is automatically 18th, right? Which means, let's say in our table view, if there is no 19th row here, then it should take, so the logic should be, it should take all the dates less than minimum date, which is 19th. So less than minimum date will be from 18th to till down, and from all these dates it should take the maximum date, which is 18th, right? So how to do that? So for that we have to calculate another variable, minimum date new, right? It will be the new minimum date, and in that what we have to do is we have to do the filter of our asset Yahoo table, where the date, asset Yahoo date, should be less than equal to minimum date, right? But filter actually gives us a table, but we do not want a table, we want the value, right? So let's use the max x. So what maxes do, maxx will use this filter thing as a table, and from this particular table it will find the maximum date which is less than the minimum date, right? It will filter all the dates which are less than the minimum date, and from those filtered dates it will find the maximum date. I hope you will get my point. So now my new minimum date is this, Now instead of min date, I'll use my new minimum date. This will be my price. So now instead of, if you see here, right, for 1 month and 1 week, we get the actual variation. Earlier it was showing us 100%, right? So that was not ideal. Now it is showing us the actual variation, right? So till here it's working fine. The next thing is to create the high price, the low price in this time frame, selected time frame, and the starting price and the ending price in this selected time frame. So let's create first the high price, and then we'll use the same logic to create the low price. So high price is, we will select the maximum date and the minimum date, the new minimum date, and we will use the max x function. And what max x function will do, will take the price where our date is greater than the minimum date and the date is less than the maximum date. From this filtered cap, it will take the maximum price, so that will be the highest price. Similarly, the vice versa will be the minimum price or the lowest price. We'll use the min x for the lowest price. So let's create a formula here, a DAX formula. Let's name it as a high price. So the high price will be, let's create a variable max date, maximum date, min date is equals to minimum date. So here also our minimum date will be, we'll use our new minimum date, right? The new minimum date. So minimum date will be max x. The table will be filter asset Yahoo table, where our asset date is less than equal to min date. So this will be my min date new, right? Now what we have to do is calculate the high price. So the high price will be, calculate max x of give the table. So the table is asset Yahoo table. The expression will be so the expression is, I want the maximum price, right? So the close price is my maximum price, but the filter condition is my date should be greater than equals to min date new, and date should be less than equals to max date. So my filter condition in the calculate. In this condition, give me the maximum of the price, right? Return return high price. Simple. Now just copy this and make a new measure, paste this, write it as low price. Everything will remain same. Just change it to low price, and instead of max X, I'll use min X. Give me the minimum price between this time frame and return me low price. Okay, we are good till now. Now we do have the high price, we do have the low price. Now I'll use multi-row card. So just to give them green or red thing, right? So in the multi-row card, I'll use first the high price. I'll do some kind of modifications. So the call out values will be, make them semi bold, make them a little bit smaller. Color black is fine for me. Then the category labels, make them off. We'll see what label we have to put. Then the card, go to the accent bar, since it's the high price, right? So I'll use green as the accent bar, green color. So I'll use the accent bar as green color, right? So if I go here, so here is no green, right? So there is a hack. How can we use a green thing? So let's create a measure, green color, and right here green. As I told you that Power BI will automatically fetch the color. And similarly, make the one for the red color. Red color equals to red. Now in this accent bar function, go to the field value and give it a green color. We have our green accent bar, right? Nice hack. So let's give it a title. So the title should be the high price, but with the high price it should show the selected period header. If it is 1 week, then it should show high price bracket 1 week. If it's 1 month, then high price bracket 1 month. So we have to make the header dynamic. Okay, so let's make a measure high price header or high price label. High price label. So that will actually have high price and bracket. The bracket we will have a bracket. Okay, the double quotes will have bracket, and we will have selected period. The selected period is, or we'll have selected value of period, and let's close the bracket, right? Now this high price will oops. I think we did something wrong. We do not want here high price. We want the text high price and bracket. Now it's fine, right? Now it's fine. High price 1 month. High price 1 week. High price 6 month. Now it's fine. Let's format it a bit or make it din. I think din will be fine. Lighter. Okay. But let's make it din. The color should be this. Right. High price. High price level. Similarly, let's make low price level. So in the low price, just copy and paste it, and instead of high price, put it here as low price. And in the low price, the accent bar should be red color, and the title be low price level. See, so within this time frame of 6 months, the highest price was $216.67 and the lowest price was $165. So the variation, right? Now the rest is the starting price and the ending price. Starting price and the ending price are nothing but the maximum price and the previous price. Previous price we have, current price we have, right? So let's select this, make it duplicate, and place current price here, move the high price. The current price is basically the ending price, right? And the accent bar should be simple gray. The label should be copy it, and price price. Here I'll use label as price. Right, we have the end price here. In the same way, we will have the start price. So the start price is basically the minimum price or the previous price. So I'll select the previous price, have the starting price, and measure, copy, measure, give it a name as start price. These dynamic labels are very straightforward. To the label section, so now we have the high price, we have the low price, we have the start price, we have the end price. And by changing the selected period, the prices are changing. Now the next part is to build a beautiful tooltip over this trend line, right? So that tooltip will show different attributes of this asset Yahoo table. So what are all those different attributes? So if you see the asset Yahoo table, we have the closing price, we have the high price, we have the low price, we have the open price, we have the volume. So we will show every attribute on a particular day. For example, let's take this example, 23rd of January 2024. On this day, as of now, we are seeing only the selected price, which is $195.18. It's the close price. But with the close price, we also want to see what was the open price, what was the high price, what was the low price, even what was the volume. Plus, on the other hand side, we also want to see the variation change with respect to the previous day. That means the variation change of the price with respect to 21st of January 2024, right? The variation of volume with respect to 21st of January 2024, and the variation of every other attribute as well, right? So here the variation which we are seeing here is based on the starting date of the selected period. But here we will see the variation on each day with respect to the previous day, right? So how to do that? So let's give this page a name as portfolio. Make a second page, and the canvas setting should be tooltip, right? And make it in the middle. So now in the tooltip, on the top we want to see the date, the selected date, and then we have to see the price on that date plus the variation with respect to the prior date or the previous date. So let's build first measure selected date equals to selected value of Yahoo date, asset Yahoo date, right? So this is our selected date. Date format will be the same. Now let's bring this card, and in this card drag the selected date. As of now it will show as blank, but when we drag this tooltip on our trend line chart, then it will show the selected value, right? Because we have not selected anything as of now. That's why it is showing as blank. Let's make it smaller. We do not want this label. And let's fine. Or instead of this card, can we use the multi-row card? Let's try to use this multi-row card. So here is the multi-row card. The reason to use this multi-row card is we'll get this date as left aligned. But when I'm using this simple card, the date is middle aligned. And we do not want this middle aligned. We want it left aligned. So let's use this multi-row card and we will remove this accent bar from here. Off, make this accent bar is off, right? Now we have this. So up to here we are good. The next thing is to bring the prices or the attributes. So to bring all the attributes in one place, the close, the high, the low, the open, the volume, right? Let's use the multi row card, or not a multi row card, this new card, right, which is introduced in the Power BI. So what's the benefit of this card is, in this card we can use the multiple attributes. I'll show you how. Like this is one card, so this card can only have a single field. But in this new card, we can have the multiple fields. I'll show you. So let's put first and the foremost is the close price, right? So the close price, then the open price, see, then the high price, the low price. We'll format this high price, low price, adjacent close, just leave it, and volume, right? Now just go to the format option. The layout will be single column and maximum cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We have to show 5 attributes. Now callouts value will be and make this as 10. Now let's use the label as one by one. So this will be price. This price will be this, and make it as 9, and below value the space should be, let's skip 5, or let's skip it. Similarly, open, the open, 5, low value. Similarly, the high, make it high, 9, low, and flow, sign, volume, sign. Here we are good, right? Okay. Right now we are not seeing the, so right now we are not seeing the labels. Let us fix it. Why we are not seeing the labels? Okay. So go to close and the value can be semi bold 10, that's fine. Display unit none. Decimal places up to 2. The label will be heading will be normal. Make it then low value, fine. This is fine. Similarly, we will go for open as well. Heading normal, make it 8, make it 2, right? Then for high, like we have to do some kind of adjustments, right? So that's what I'm doing as of now. Nothing hard and fasty. The last is the second last. So right, now let's do one thing. Just increase the size of this canvas by length, right? So I'll just go to the canvas setting, bring it custom, and make it instead of 320, let's use 350. Not the width, but height. Let's use it. So height, let's change it to how much? 260. Now in 260, if I expand this, let's increase the height more extent. Let's the height is 280, right? 280. One more thing that we have to do is Now we have actually reduced the padding. So here we are good. Now we can reduce the size of this canvas, the height. Let's bring it back to 240. So we have the prices, like the attributes. Now the second thing is the variation. So the for the variation, we need to calculate the variation of each attribute for the price, the open, the high, and the low. So we have to calculate the previous day price, right? For the value which was there on the previous day. Let's start with the price thing, right? So we will build one measure. So the measure will be like price change with respect to previous day, right? Let's create a variable as previous day. We have to calculate or we have to go to the previous day first, right? So let's use the calculate function, and in the calculate function what we have to calculate is max of asset underscore yahoo date, right? And that's supposed to be, okay, we will use the selected value if this date is less than the, if uh, this date is less than the selected value of this date, right? And then from that we will take the maximum. Okay, so we will remove all the filters from assets yahoo date, and after removing the filter what we will do is, okay, thing is wrong. We haven't yet closed. So we will take the maximum date of from this column, but we will actually apply some filters. First filter will be remove all the filters from the date section, and then assets date is less than um select selected value of asset date. So first it will select all the values less than the selected value, right? Because we have to go back in time. So it will select all the values of the date or all the dates. It will actually select all the dates less than the selected value, and from those all the dates it will take the maximum, right? So that will help us to reach to the previous day or the prior date. Now we have our previous day. Now the next thing is we will uh, calculate the price on that previous. So let's give it a name, previous day price. Calculate sum of close price and use all. uh, we have to remove the filter from the date section, the date section, and after removing the filter from the date section, uh, what we have to do is we have to align our asset date equals to our this previous day, previous day, right? This is our previous day price. And now we will create one more variable, price change, right? So that will be equals to divide sum of close minus this previous day price, right? And previous day price, and we will return the price change. This is our price change, and it will be percentage. Now let's see how it looks like. Price change. As of now, it will show blank. That's but obvious. But when you go to our portfolio and here you actually apply the tooltip, right? So the tooltip will be page 1. Now if you see, the price change is showing us price change, right? So we have to reduce the font size and everything, make it aligned. So move the labels, make it semi bold, and make it 10. Now if you see here, have the price change, right? Now we have to add the up arrow, down arrow, and the green and the red colors based on the price change. If it is positive, then green. If it is negative, then red with the down arrow. So for that, we just have to add a, or we have to format it as a text. So let's create a new measure. Price change text with respect to prior day. That will be equals to um variable price change equals to variable price change was equals to if price change to prior date is greater than 0, or instead of if, let's use switch. Now if price change, like if price change with respect to prior day is greater than 0, then give me, if it is positive, right, then give me up arrow, up arrow, on space, price change value, price change value, arrow and price change value, and versus previous state. Else if it is less than 0, then instead of up arrow, give me down arrow. Give me down arrow. And if it's same, then just give me if it's same, then just give me simple price variation. Now this is our price change text. Return price change. Or let's do one more thing. Formula is right. I think there is no need to use the variable here. We have a text. Let's see how it works. Now if I drag it here, price change text, of this, fine, right? Now let's see how it looks like. Okay, kind of formatting that we need to. Oh, okay. The reason is we have to do the formatting. Okay, okay. So price change text was to format price change, format the value, and the format will be 0.00 percentage, right? And this will be variable with name as a result, and here we will use this formatted one, and we'll return our result, right? Now let's see. See, it's working, right? Now if it is up arrow or positive price change, then it should be green, else it should be red. How to do that? That will also be done. Just select this, or Uh, let's create a measure, price change color. If this is very simple, price change with respect to previous day is greater than 0, then then give me green. If it is less than 0, then give me red. Else give me gray. Right? Gray means if there is no price change, if the price is same on the previous day and the very latest day. Right? So this is the price change color. Now like this, go to the call out values, go to this color, field value, price change color. Okay. Now go to our portfolio. You see, now it's red, now it's green, working fine. And if I select Amazon, then also it's working fine. That means it is working fine. Similarly, we have to calculate the same thing for rest of the attributes as well. So what I will do is I'll just copy it and make a new measure. I'll paste it, and here I'll give it a name as open change with respect to previous day. Things will remain same. Previous day open. Instead of close, I'll use this open, and this will also remain the same. Now open change it to open, previous day open also, and return. Everything is good. Make it percentage. Now the next thing is open change text. For that, just copy, make it a copy to measure. Instead of this price change, it open change. So now the steps are very straightforward. One change, respect this. One change is greater than 0. The open change. Right, return result. If it is greater than 0, then up arrow, open change text. If it is less than, then up arrow, then down arrow, and this. Uh, it's good. Now open change text. Just drag it here. Right. Now since we are seeing the two columns, format it. Go to the layout. We need the single column. have 1, 2, 4, 5. We need 5, right? The call out values, this, that's fine. For this price, now go to this open, and the color should be okay. We have to create the color thing as well. So copy it, go to new measure, open change color, open change, open change. Okay, so now this open change, go to function, field value, open change color. And for this price change, also go to the function, price change color. Now portfolio tab and see if it's working. Yeah, working fine. Working fine. Go back here. We have the price, we have the open. Let's create for the high, right? So now for the high, we'll do the same exercise again. Create new measure, So now we have built all our attributes, placed them inside this card and within this tooltip. Now let's go to the portfolio and just see. So it's looking fine. We have to do the alignment little bit. Okay. So the alignment will look like this. Let's see. Some right. Okay. Little bit up. Little bit up. Okay. Now we are good. Now let's bring it little bit closer. Okay. And let's reduce the size of this canvas. Make it pretty or make it 60. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Point months. I think it's working perfectly fine, right? So now our tooltip is ready. The next thing is to build the trend line for each of the indexes. Okay. So for that, what we will do is we'll just copy this, make it a little bit smaller. What we will do is remove the shade area, and we will also remove this title. We'll also remove the values on the x-axis. Group these. And this. Now we have our trend line. Okay. One, the color of the line, make it this. Okay. But now the thing is, these lines um should remain particular for the selected index always. Like for Amazon it should be like this. When I select Amazon, like for Apple it should be like this. For Amazon it should be like this. So if I switch from Apple to Amazon, then the Apple line, this, not change to the Amazon line. Okay, then that means we have to fix the filter context for the Apple, right? Now what we will do is we'll create a measure, and the name of the measure will be selected price for Apple. Now that will be calculate selected price. We already have selected price, and we will filter our um abbreviation key table, right? Asset key table having the abbreviation column, and this column should be equals to AAPL. Very simple DEX. This will be our selected price. Now instead of this selected price, let's drag this here. Now when we are on Apple, this curve is like this. When Amazon, still like this, and Bitcoin, the curve is like this. Working fine. Now similarly, we have to build the curves or the trend lines for each of the index, right? Hmm. Very simple. Okay. Now, just like the selected price APL, I'll just copy it, build a new measure, selected price AMZN. Now here of APL, I'll put AMZN. Right, we have the selected price of AMZN. Now the same thing we will do. Same thing go for BTC. Same thing we'll do for Google. Same thing we'll do for NVIDIA. NVIDIA. And the same for Tesla. Right. Now just copy and paste it and drag Amazon here. Similarly, copy and paste it again and drag BTC here. Similarly, copy and paste, drag Well, yeah, Tesla. Now it's just a matter of aligning them. Let's remove this header from. Okay, perfectly fine. Let's remove the tooltip from here because we do not need the tooltip. Make it off, or let's not make it off, make it default. Right. Up to here, we are good. Now the next part is to build the KPI cards here on the right for each of the index, right? Just like we build the trend lines. So to build the KPI cards for all these indexes, we have to calculate the price on the very latest date, which is on 26th of June, right? Just like we are getting the price here, the current price, right? So for Amazon 193, for Bitcoin 61,210. Similarly, for all these, we should see the price here. That should not change, just like this trend lines. Okay, so let's start to build for Apple first. So for Apple, we should create a measure current price current price for Apple that will be equal to um calculate current price, which we already have the price on the very recent date, with the condition this condition abbreviation equals to APL. Is the current price for Apple. Now I'll just copy it, paste it, Amazon, BTC, very straightforward. Copy, full, copy, media, The last is Tesla. All right. We have the current price for all the 6 indexes. So let's create card here, this new card, because we have to stack these current prices. Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin, Google, Nvidia, and Tesla. Format the layout, single column, 6 cards. Right now, if you see this label, let's make them off. Now we have to add the variation also here, right? Variation with respect to the previous price. If it's 6 months, then this date, then this price is of this date, and the previous price should be of this date, and the variation will be the price change from this date to this date, right? The same logic that we used here. So we have to create a price variation tax calculation, right? Let's create a new measure. Price variation for Apple, giving it a name. Now let's create a variable for, and the price variation will also have the up arrow and the down arrow, right? So let's create the positive is equals to up arrow, and variable negative equals to down arrow. Then variation equals to current price we do have here, the previous price we do not have here, right? So we have to calculate the previous price as well for Apple, for Amazon, for Bitcoin. So what we will do is we will just create the previous price here itself in a variable previous price that will be equals to calculate previous price, but on a condition, or let's that equals to APL. Very simple and straightforward. And let's park this under the filter table, right? Now it's fine. Now we do have the previous price. Now the variation is divide current price APL minus previous price right? This is the variation, but we need to convert this variation into text because we have to incorporate this variation in the form of some label, and label is always in the form of text. So let's create the last variable as result. If our variation is greater than 0, then give me up arrow space format variation 0.00 percentage, right? Up arrow space and my variation. If variation is less than 0, then give me down arrow space format variation 0.00 percentage. Very simple calculation, right? Else just give me if the price is same, right? Or uh, between the previous and the last or the recent date, then just give me simple variation. Now I'll just return my result. Now this is in the form of text. So this is the price variation for Apple, right? So and make this as okay, let's keep it as it is. So this is the price. So this is the price variation for Apple. Now uh, let's drag this into our visual. So what we have to do is go to the callout values. The series is for the current price Apple, right? And right now, go to the label section, make it on. If you see Apple's label is on, but we want to remove this from auto to our field value, which we just created, price variation Apple. Okay, now we have the price variation Apple, but we want to see it below the current price, right? So make it normal, make it semi bold and make it 9 and below the value, right? And give the spacing as 4. I do it 2. 2 is fine. 2 is fine, right? Now we have to make this as red or green, right? If it's positive, then it should be green, negative, red. So very simple calculation. Price variation Apple color, Apple underscore color. If okay, so what we have to do is just do one thing. Have to make the calculation as if the variation is greater than 0, then it's green. If it's less than 0, then it's red. But there is no separate calculation, right? So we have to pull from here this part, this variation part, right? So I'll just copy it, go here, paste it. Because we have a previous price, we have actually calculated the previous price for Apple, then the current price, previous price is my variation, and variation result equals to if my variation is greater than 0, uh, then give me green, else if the variation is less than 0, then give me red, else give me gray, or just normal black, because this is our black, right? Now, so this is my calculation for the color of Apple. Subtitle, something is wrong. Let's see what. Oh, we have not returned return result, right? So that's why I always build the price in the form of new measure, the previous price, right? But it's fine because we are using this previous price of each index in a particular visual only, right? So that's fine. So this is for Apple. So Apple is done. Now go to the color section, field value, price variation, Apple. Okay. Now if you see, we have a positive. Okay, perfectly working fine. Okay. Similarly, we have to build for rest of the indexes. So I'll just speed up in that. I'll just copy and paste my existing calculations. I think there is something wrong. I need to correct it. So the previous price here should be this one, right? This one, because we have calculated the previous price here. So we have to do this amendment in the Apple price also, right? Just created a minute back. Go to the price variation Apple. Now this is the previous price for Apple. Here also, this is the previous price for Apple. right? Now it's fine. So Apple is done, Amazon is done, Apple is done, add for Amazon also. There is something wrong for to see these are changing, right? Let's see what's wrong here. So these type of UAT thing you have to do while building such kind of dashboards. Let's make it a good exercise, right? In Amazon, we see the variation is 6.64. In Apple, the variation is 12.25. Let's see what's the problem if I select Amazon, it's 17.98, but here is 6.64. In Apple, the variation is 12.25, but here it's 10.91. But when I select the Amazon's field should not change. Something is wrong, I think. First, let's see what's wrong in this Apple 12.25 and it's 10.91. These should ideally remain same because I have selected the Apple from here, right? Let's see the calculation here, how I get this 10.91. variation percentage, price variation. Where is this price variation? Okay, this is the price variation. Price variation is the current price minus previous price. That's fine. Hence we got $23.27. But the percentage will be if I divide this thing with the previous price. Go to the percentage. Oh, I have divided this with the current price, which is wrong. I have to divide this with the previous price. Now it's 12.25. Now it's matching. Now it's fine, right? If I select the 6 months, then it's 10.46, 10.4. Now let's see if I select Amazon, why this field is changing. It should remain the same, right? For the Amazon. For Bitcoin, it is also changing from 140. Oh my God, 140 to 40. And here is 28,000 percentage, which is obnoxiously high, which is absolutely wrong thing. Let's see what's wrong here in Amazon. If let's go to this price variation Amazon, because this field we have used here. Now in price variation in Amazon, oh, I have used the previous price here, but for us the previous price is this variable, not the DAX calculation. So I'll just place this, right? And similarly, I think it's for the Bitcoin as well. So here also I'll just replace price with the variable which I just created. Now I think we are good. Now these are not changing, right? If I select Apple, these two values remain same because these two actually implies for Amazon and Bitcoin. Right? Now we are good. These will only change if I select if I change the period, right? Because this period changed the starting and the ending date. Now we are on the right track. Um, let's build now for Google, Nvidia, and Tesla the same tax calculations for the variations. So I'll just copy and paste the BTC, copy, new measure, Google, Google, also Google. The last one is for the data. Okay, so this part is also done. Now let's remove all these borders. And let's group all these three, right? We're good till now. Tip is done. Filter slicer is done. Different trend lines are done. API cards are done. Selected PDF slicer is done. Okay, so now let's make a title. So give it a title. Report title equals to asset portfolio, my title, and I have to mention the date also, right? The date of this price is 27th. So current date, which will be my text, that will be equals to as on um and format my maximum date, the current date, right, to mm GDYY format, right? So now use this same card here on the top, drag title, not this title here, it and the label I want is current date text, and I need it below, and the spacing with 5, make it fine, right? Have our title here. So remove the background, remove the border. Have a title, we have everything here. Now the next portion and the final portion of this dashboard is to uh, bring up the canvas background. So I build one canvas background in PowerPoint. Let me show you what it is. So here is the canvas background. On this white background thing, I'll merge the trend line, and on this dark gray or light gray, I'll merge my watch list, right? And here on the top, I'll add my selected period slicer, right? And once I build this in the PowerPoint, you also can build it the PowerPoint by using some shapes, right? And then I saved it in the PNG format, and that PNG format I will be bringing up here in my canvas things. Let me show you how. Go to canvas background, browse. This is my PNG format canvas, and I bring it here, right? So now it's looking a little bit messy. Let's align this, right? So just follow the steps and it. This thing is we have to remove the background. Buttons will by default make it transparent, and on selected make it black, right? These trend line charts also I'll just remove the backgrounds because we do not need the background. Or you can make this transparent also, whatever suits you, right? Similarly for this card visual thing, remove the background, right? So we do have these aligned, and now I'll just expand it vertically so that it will adjust in my frame, the canvas background frame. I will remove the background from here as well. That's looking fine. Let's remove the grid lines also. So to remove the grid line, very simple. So these are vertical lines, right? Go to the grid lines, vertical lines, make them off. Now we are good. Remove the backgrounds of these also. Removing all the backgrounds, let's adjust this selected period slicer into this frame and remove it background as well. Right. Now this should be here in the center. And this will remove the set. Are done. Now just give it a name of these two sections. So the first section is overview. It here on the top. And the next is watch list. So you can publish this by selecting your required workspace. Right. So, and this way, this report can be built. I hope you guys have enjoyed this session. You now just can play around with this report, right? Thank you for your time and see you next time. And if you haven't pressed the subscribe button yet, please do subscribe it so that I'll be bringing more new Tableau and Power BI dashboard videos for you to learn and grow together. Thank you.